Today's devotional comes from 2 Samuel chapter 21, verse 17. But Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, came to his aid, and struck the Philistine and killed him. Then the men of David swore to him, saying, You shall go out no more with us to battle, lest ye quench the lamp of Israel.
David is a well-known and favorite Bible figure. His story begins as a shepherd boy tending his father's sheep. David's family overlooks his youthfulness, but God has seen his heart, and he sends the prophet Samuel to anoint him to be the next king. As a young man, he fights the giant warrior Goliath and defeats him. He then becomes an officer in King Saul's army. He's already a national hero. He has established a wonderful friendship, kinship with Prince Jonathan. Then King Saul gets jealous, goes insane, and attempts to kill David. David has to go into hiding to escape. Yet during those years that David was on the run, he still maintained his faith in God, his loyalty to Israel, and even to King Saul himself. David had an opportunity to kill King Saul, but he refused to do so. Instead, he appealed for reconciliation, but Saul would not. After both King Saul and Prince Jonathan died in battle, the tribes of Judah and Benjamin chose David as their king, and later all 12 tribes would unite and make David king of all Israel. David reigned for 40 years of victory over the enemies, establishing Israel as a nation to be reckoned with in the world of that day. It was a golden age for Israel. With his success came temptations and trials. The one thing he tried to cover is revealed to us in Scripture, his sin with Bathsheba and its horrible aftermath. The prophet Nathan going to David and saying, You are the man. David, anguish ending as he repents, and we read of all that heart and that conflict poured out in Psalm 51. And then 6 chapters, the Bible discloses the conflict that came after and in David's own family, son against son, with one son even starting a civil war, trying to take away the throne from David, and of course David's anguish at that son's death. David repented, God forgave him. The question is, would God ever use him? David's life was long, and it had quite a lot of events to note. He made mistakes, he sinned, but he repented. Would God use him? In the verse that we read, 2 Samuel 21, verse 17, we find David in the middle of a battle. David is older now. He goes out to war against the Philistines. There were still giants, but in verse 15 it says he grew faint. Maybe he even stumbled, and he is rescued by Abishai. After the battle is over, after David has been rescued, or helped, I should say, the men decide that David, you don't need to be in battle anymore with us. And they have an interesting way of describing David, because you are the light of Israel. We don't want that to be quenched. We don't want that to be extinguished. I want us to see that David was viewed by his men in a very precious way. They viewed him as a leader, as the source of blessing with God. God had given him honor and reputation. God had done a mighty thing by this little description that is given to David by his men, the lamp of Israel. Yes, God forgave him, but God also restored him to service, to influence. I hope this encourages us who fail and sin and wonder, maybe like David, would God ever continue to use us? God continued to use David as the light of Israel. May we seek in our Christian life to be that light for God, to influence people and help people trust in Him.